So if a straight line is described by this equation, so y equals mx plus c, where m is the slope and c is the y-intercept, then it follows that we can go the other way, and from an equation in this format with two variables in it, then we can then draw a line from that equation. So for example, let's use the equation y equals 2x plus 1. So in this equation, that means that the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is equal to 1. So if we've got our axes here, x and y, then we can already put on our y-intercept, can't we? So that means that x is 0, y is 1. We know this from the equation. So x is 0, y is 1. So there's our first... Sorry, that's the wrong way. It's the wrong way around. So x is 0, y is 1. So there's our first point. And then we could use just our slope to add another point on the graph. So we know that for every one space we go forward on the x, so I forgot to put any numbers on here as well. 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. This is 1, 2, 3. So for every space we go forward on the x, we go up 2. So this is a steeper slope than the one we saw on the previous slide. So if we go from 0 to 1 on the x, then we go from we go up 2. So in this case, from 1 up to 3 on the y. There we go, and that's enough points, in fact, to define our line. So let me draw that on there. But in fact, another thing we can do, so that's plus 2. What we could also do is plug in values into the equation to get the x for any y and the y for any x. So should we do that for a few, and we can add a few more points onto our line. So now how about the x, so this is the y-intercept. How about the x-intercept? So that means that y equals 0. What does x equal? So if y is 0, that means that 0 equals 2x plus 1. So that means that minus 1 equals 2x. So that means minus 1/2 equals 2x. So where x is 0, y is equal to minus 0.5. So x is 0, y is minus 0.5. So that fits nicely on our line. And let's just do one more. How about if... Let's work out this point that we worked out here. So if x is equal to 1, so that means that y is equal to 2 times 1 plus 1. So y is equal to 3. And that's this point that we've got here. So we can work it out from the line, or we can work it out from plugging numbers into the equation. So we've got an infinite number of values here that make this equivalency true, and we can work it out. Alright, let's get rid of these workings out. So as I was saying, this slope is a steeper slope than the other one. So for every x, then every one change in x, and there's 2 changes in y. And also it's a positive slope, which means that x and y are proportional. As x goes up, y goes up. If it was a negative slope, then as x goes up, y goes down. And in fact, let's use the equation for m that we saw in the last video to work out the slope, not just doing scribbles. So m is the change in y over the change in x. So in this case, let's use these first 2 points. So it would be 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0 over 0 minus 1 minus 1/2, sorry. So that would be 1 over 1/2, which is 2. So that's the same as, so we can get that from our different points and we can work it out, and that corresponds.